Good morning, everybody. Thanks for dialing in to the session.
Fantastic. Alrighty. So just a bit of shopkeeping before we get started, everyone. My name's Matt. I'll be your MC for the day. The voice you heard just a minute ago is David Swords. He's our Northeast Australian Business Development Manager. And today he's going to be running us all through geofences and covering a whole range of topics around them, including their functionality, use cases, and a brief outline of exactly how they work. And I believe he's also going to finish off with a little demo for everybody. Across the webinar, guys, we're going to have everyone set to mute, but if you've got any questions along the way, there is a chat bar that you can drop any questions into. Otherwise, we will have time at the end for questions should anyone have them. If there is anything that you want to ask along the way, don't hesitate to throw a message in that chat bar. I'll be monitoring it, and I'll pull up David at an appropriate time to help answer those questions. All right, so without further ado, David, over to you.
Thanks, Matt. Morning, everybody. So today I'm going to actually take you through a brief session. We won't go for too long, that's for sure. It's a relatively straightforward system. So what is a geofence? But in its basic form, it is basically just a virtual fence or a border that you can predefine around a geographical area. So whether you're in a regional area, a city area, it's irrelevant. The actual process that you can deploy and use the geofences is universal. So as you can see on the screen here, geofences come in any shape you want. You literally can click 3 dots on a map and create a triangle. You can create any shape you want. You can have them overlapping. You can have any different area that you have in your role mapped accordingly to topography, assets, places. So as you can see on the screen there's one from our Melbourne offices. You can see there's a track safe protector for Carlos and Sarah. There's a test device, and then there's our pool car. They're all sitting within a defined geofence. So at any given time, when you're looking at the system, you can see that, oh, we've got these people at this location. You can track when they're leaving, when they're entering, all those sort of things that we will go through during this session. So geofences themselves, while it's a very basic functionality in defining the area, what you can then do within that is quite sophisticated. Things like entering and exiting alerts via email. You can have them via text messages. You can set speeding criteria. So you can actually set limits so that, particularly from a health and safety, if you have a depot and you have a speed restriction, you can actually monitor that and produce reports to show, are people adhering to workplace health and safety rules. A number of my clients use them as part of their toolbox talks to say, hey, these are your colleagues that are, you're risking because you're doing 30 Ks in a 15 zone, that sort of thing. But these are all definable by your business within the platform. You can create a geofence, you can apply a range of capabilities to it, and they are configurable to you in your business. So what are some of the applications that we look at this? People talk about monitoring people moving in and out of areas. You might have areas where, you want to know where people are on site. I use a mine site, for instance. You have the high wall area and the low wall. 2 different types of areas with 2 very different work-based approaches to safety in those zones. So you can create geofences to allow you to monitor where your vehicles, assets, and people are at any given time on site. So you can sort of bound those particular areas. You can create temporary zones if you're in a disaster zone with bushfires, as we see currently across New South Wales and other areas at the moment. You can also use it for monitoring workers outside of cellular reception. So you can create a geofence for a known black spot, so that when you're looking to find a particular individual, you can run the report and it will show you, the last contact from Fred was at 9:40 this morning. He went into this blackout area. So there's a number of ways you can do it. Proof of activity. One of my council customers regularly gets questions about, oh, you know, we've never had anybody come and mow the oval across from where I live. He can quickly draw up the data, have a look and say, well, actually, the guys were there mowing 2 weeks ago on Wednesday between 10 and 11 a.m. There's a lot of activity. There's a lot of information that the system will capture, and it becomes a valuable tool within your business. Again, one of the other items there on the bottom of the list is the notification of asset theft. Because all your assets can be tagged with various handheld or IVMS type hardware. If you have an unauthorized vehicle or asset moved from a depot, you can have alarms triggered for that because again, it's out of hours, it hasn't been authorized. Therefore, you know, somebody can actually do something in real time about what's happening. So I say some of those practical applications that we've looked at. You can see on the map there, there's a zone being created around a set of parklands. So you can produce these for any range of activities. Here in Queensland, Select Solutions use it for when their staff are, I say, going in and out of cellular reception. Downer Roads use proof of activity for their winter maintenance when they're actually out on the road. Yarra Valley setting borders around bushfires, and Wyndham City Council using, you know, their parks and their ovals were mowed. So there's a wide range of business uses and use cases, and they're not restricted. You can actually define what it is you're looking to measure and activity you're looking to track at any given time in your system. And that's one of the benefits of the IQ platform. It is give you that level of configurability and user access. From a speed management perspective, you know, it's all very well that we talk about on highways. It's very easy for our IVMS solutions to produce reports showing that, you know, X number of vehicles were, you know, speeding or going outside of the road regulations in a particular area. It's less so for off-road, where you have vehicles, particularly from council and resource type vehicles where they're going off the bitumen, as it were. So these become ideal for actually creating zones to help manage and implement your policies and procedures that have a bearing on day-to-day activities. Because again, the main thing is using the information in the system to maintain a safe environment for your staff and your stakeholders. So that's pretty much what we've covered, what a geofencer is, some of the types of geofences, the applications you can use them, and some, you know, special case scenarios of how that can be applied. And this is all distilled back into how you and your users within the system create that. And I'll show you how quick and easy that is now. I'll just switch applications, bear with me. So here we have a map of Brisbane. You can see on the screen there, ATK, that's a plug and play device, an OBD device in my work vehicle. So you can see where it was on the road when it was last polled. It allows you to see all that. If I zoom in a little bit over here, you can see there's 3 geofences. This is the main government building at 1 William Street. This is where QFleet reside in Brisbane and the Department of Education and Training. So these are all physical locations where we use pool booking with our clients. So we can see when vehicles arrive and depart from within their pool booking stations. Over here on this side of the river, you can see a geofence around the Brisbane office. You can see my personal locator, my TrackSafe Mini, and my Protector Pro. And I also have an unpowered asset Remora device that was last polled when I was coming along Little Stanley Street. I've set a geofence here because this is a shared footpath. So there's a 10 km/h speed limit because I'm sharing that footpath with vehicles and pedestrians. If we now want to look at creating a geofence, over here on the left-hand side, we have draw a geofence. By simply clicking on there, I can then go 1, 2, 3, for, there's my geofence, as simple as that. Select the type, and I can say that I want an email on enter or exit. And there you go, that's done. So now in the system in the background, every device, be it non-powered, handheld, or in vehicle, is now configured in that system. Anytime any of them would enter that zone, then the prescribed person would receive the alerts, be that the user, the manager, however you want to configure that to reflect your business structures and processes. It's as simple and as easy as that. And then I can move on and create another one, which might be for a speed zone, or where there's an incident where there might be a black spot. It's very quick, very simple to define an area.
So David, one of the great things about these geofence types also is that they're all completely customizable. So obviously you've highlighted a few here that are set at specific speed zones or that have specific actions arriving from them, such as a notification. Not all of these necessarily need to have those set of parameters, and they are able to be customized based off the user's requirements. So I know, for example, you've used a few where there are alerts that are automatically sent. In some cases, I believe, oftentimes an alert doesn't want to be sent. For example, if you're just monitoring an oval for when the mower was last there, you don't necessarily need notifications coming from that, but it provides an event in our map which allows us to then track back when that last event occurred and thus provide proof of activity.
Correct. And another sort of add-on to that is where you do have a vehicle, let's say a lawnmower with a tracking IVMS unit with a PTO, you can actually not only see when it was on station, but you can also see the time where it would have had the blades deployed and actually doing the mowing. So you start feeding that information into optimization and utilization of devices and vehicles as well as their whereabouts.
Fantastic.
Are there any other questions?
So I'll open up the floor now to everybody, guys. I'll set unmute for everyone, so hopefully we're not in all very loud backgrounds. Are there any questions? Can you kill that? Sorry, guys. It looks like we're just having a minor bit of feedback in the feedback loop. We're going to try this once more, guys. I'm just going to unmute everybody. Now, was there any questions from anybody out on the floor as far as geofences? Did you guys have any particular use cases maybe that you were looking that a geofence might be valuable for you guys? So we've got a range of examples of where geofences have been used by our customers across our case studies that are up on our website. Obviously, if you've got any questions regarding specific scenarios for your own organisation that you'd like to validate with us or would like to get a better understanding of how you guys might be able to use geofences within your organisation to provide some further benefits, you're more than welcome to reach out. Just one final opportunity for questions before we finish this up. Alrighty. Finish up here. David, thank you very much for your presentation, and we will have another few presentations following up after this for different webinar topics. Following up from this particular webinar, we'll be sending out an email to everyone with the webinar slides as well as the recording of the presentations. Thank you very much for your time, guys, and look forward to having you join in our future webinars.